when you see Albert die, and it's taken how long has it been, bro? All these days. Someone who died at Central. I'm like, just find the people at Central that night.
And this shit is really not rocket science.
It's not rocket science,
It's really not rocket
also,
science.
begin with why the CCTV was arrested. Was already
number one, that's a red flag. That's someone who needs to be arrested.
And I'm sure all that footage is something that can be recovered.
Yeah.
Even if it can be recovered.
A death happened at your station and you fumbled the CCTV.
Why?
Wewe unafaa kuwa ndani.
What you guys are saying before we started recording. Timulikuwa surprised because in my previous house I used to have a picture of a big naked lady.
Alikuwa tu na picha dem
from second floor back huko juu.
A painting actually. Not a
Mwass said the only reason Chaxy has that drawing is because he knows his parents will never visit him.
There's some things we can't do.
Baba yangu atakam kwangu apate mama ako uchi.
Over 26.
This is
This is the Brunch Club. Over 26.
welcome back to
The mics are cool.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.
What up, my name is Chaxy, the mastermind, your main guy, the Lord Chaxy, the beautiful Mariah is not around.
He's not around.
But the Grease is around. The amazing Mwass is around. The whole gang is around. Episode 269. We are
My chick.
Karibu niseme misfix.
We are misfits. Mlenga tu abaki.
Walai.
mimi nika collect. I'd collect.
Mimi nakwanga msem nice man. Sijui kwa mean.
Ni vile energy yako tu nakanga uko vita.
But that's charisma.
Yeah, it's big reason.
Nguvu ni mengi, man. So Mariah is doing, I don't know what Mariah is doing, but I just know her extended family is here. She had her sister got married over the weekend on Saturday.
Crazy.
So Mwass and I went to represent.
And we are the only ones who had the dress code.
Bro, fucking
What was the dress code?
Tuliambiwa tuvae African, tunapata watu wamevaa dinner. Si tumekuja na mavitenge.
Na najua kwanza mlistruggle kuget hizo vitenge.
Bro, mimi nakwanga na kitenge moja ya maru.
Ndio unarecycle nyingi kwa kila wewe.
Yeah, niliona there's guys who can walk in jeans and just a polo shirt. I'm a polo.
Yeah, but that's Nairobi.
So polo ni t-shirt ama shirt. What is a polo? Is it a t-shirt ama shirt? It's a t-shirt. It's a shirt.
Hey, una sound smart.
Wait, hakuna t-shirt ziko na kola?
Sioni.
Si then tufanye hivi kwa idea yetu ya misfix.
T-shirt kawaida lakini iko na kola.
Kama kitu umevaa lakini iko na kola.
Mbona?
Yani the way I'm dressed like with a collar.
Alafu iko sleeveless by the way.
You know what? I mean, I feel like we should try.
Let's try that.
The idea doesn't sound that bad.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm sorry to that tailor. Atakuwa anashona tu analipa rent. Na warasta wamemzunguka wako.
Na marasta no.
Hapo tu tokeni hapa.
Malizeni muende.
To collect tengeneza sasa za orange. Tengeneza za orange.
Luminous.
Mpaka sasa tutengeneze zenye hapa hivi zimeprintiwa nini? tie, lakini si tie real. Print too.
Bro, I hate those shirts. You know those shirts that people wear that it's a white shirt and then they've like chorad a tie. I hate them so much. I hate them. Like shunwanga new shamba level gani. Hii ni sasa ile final boss ya washamba.
I think the one that killed me ni yenye ilikuwa just literally a t-shirt but unajua venye leso zukwa hapa chini kuna line yenye kuna motivational speech.
You're lying.
I swear ni t-shirt tu hapa chini kuna hiyo stuff ya motivational whatever iko na hizo mapatterns kaza leso but ni t-shirt tu so msali angalia leso akasema
but with sleeves.
Nataka kusema kitu. Hizo nguo tushaivana le band.
Lakini le band mlikuwa shamba tu.
Okay.
Before styling.
Tumeanza mapema.
Before styling
mmetoka mbali.
Ini ali kick off.
2 PM Everton on Man United. Man United inaenda kupigwa 3.
Vijana tulikuwa tunapiga hadi drip na unatuambia
after mko na stylist mlikuwa.
Lakini unajua before it wasn't at ushamba ni kusota.
Ni kusota by the ilikuwa kusota.
Mimi najua mimi hata time nilikuwa nimesota nilikuwa na katu vizuri. Cause kuna nguo cheap zenye zinakaa vizuri.
Na Chaxy.
Ulianza kudunga when?
For as long as I remember high school, mainly high school. I'd say high school is when I started caring about how my outfits looked. Primary school, I'm sure if you find my pictures. But from class 8 TV, nilikuwa dem fulani alikuwa anaitwa Rita Mtizeda alikuwa amenibamba. So
ndio alikuwa anakuvalisha nguo.
Hapo ananivalisha nguo.
Ulikuwa na dem class 8.
Ai, wewe uko na dem.
Alikuwa anakuvua nguo class 8.
Unajua mseni wa Ocha ananga vitu za kudu. Ndio maana
watu anza kula na mabaya. Mlikuwa mnakula na class 8.
Wewe ulikuwa unacheza PS. Yeye anakaa tufanya.
Ama tunaenda ligi ndogo.
Wait, for real class 8 you guys are virgins?
What do you mean? You are not a virgin.
What are you talking about? Mbona
ulifanya KCP?
Mbona anauliza as if kutokuwa virgin ni crazy?
I know when I was in class 6, one of my classmates, one of the biggest scandal in school ni one of my classmates walipatikana during break wakidinyana kwa field fly.
Hata mjafungua class 6.
Ndio wameanza kusoma reproduction.
Tujasoma ile.
Ndio wameanza actually nadhani ni hiyo time.
Nyinyi mlikuwa mnangoja msome ndo mjue.
Hapana.
Mimi nilijua sex exists.
But you need to learn first.
Na ujue ni nini unaingiza wapi ama nini?
Bro, unajua kuna point ile kunafika body yako I need kuambiwa. Unajua tu nini inaingia.
Mimi nilizwa jitika.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
How old were you in class? Unajua the other thing is
another thing is 27-year-old
how old were you in class 8? Because you know me, I studied with people. So when in Nairobi school, I had desk mates or classmates who were 27 tukiwa form 1.
Yes. Same here.
Msema repeat shule mpaka akakuwa chopi kwa sababu amesoma mpaka.
We had a guy alikuwa hizi discussions za budako anakupeanga how much poke yako anachangia juu. Yeye ndiye anajitibia fees.
But see most of those guys are quite like actual students. It's students who are brought in school especially for sports. Soccer, football, poaching. So most of the older guys would be there for poaching.
So what ulikuwa wase?
Mimi sikuwa say. Charisma, how old are you?
No, but mimi nashtuka tu mtu ana have sex class 8.
Class 6.
Class 8 ulikuwa how old? 13 or 14?
13 I think. I'm at 12.
Na ulikuwa shaanza?
Wow.
I'm talking about other people in my school. Other people in my school.
My morality is not the highest. So kuona mimi nimeshtuka hivi.
Umeshtuka ya ukweli.
Jumba yangu ya morality iko down.
Non-existent. Unajua nyinyi mnasema hivyo mmenikumbusha Kenya mlikuwa what you guys are saying before we started recording. Mlikuwa surprised because in my previous house I used to have a picture of a big naked lady.
Alikuwa tu na picha dem
from second floor mpaka huko.
A painting
actually. No,
tunaweza toa.
Mwass said the only reason Chaxy has that drawing is because he knows his parents will never visit him.
There's some things we can't do.
Baba yangu atakam kwangu apate mama ako uchi kwa ukuta. No way.
The story of that painting.
Yeah.
So
it was a big painting. Don't play.
Guys, I would say it again. It's from what floor to what floor? I need people to get the context.
It was from the second floor to the third floor, the entire wall.
Just a naked woman.
It was a huge ass painting. You couldn't even ignore it.
Matiti na
First of
tushana
all,
wewe.
this guy, nataka mje nyumba ya Chaxy ilikuwa na second floor.
Unajua check mtu anashtukanga vile wewe ni babi.
That's what
Mtu ana watch.
The first time Charisma ever came to my house, I was like, you live alone here?
Hata mimi nilishtuka. Alafu wewe ulikuwa umekuja ku house hunt apartment. Ukaona villa.
I was like, I want the villa.
I'm not tell you.
Honestly, I didn't even have money to pay for it, but I really wanted it and I got the villa instead.
Listen, that's a lie. Because if you don't have money to get a villa, you don't get a villa.
At the beginning, because I went to see the apartment. Because the estate it's such a big estate. It had apartments and villas.
Yeah.
So mimi nikienda huko, I'd been sent pictures. I didn't even know there was villas, bro. I'd been sent pictures of the apartments. So I drive in, I'm like, there's villas here. So the caretaker ananiambia, I'm 10 minutes out, ningoje tu. Kulikuwa na mlango ya villa, moja imefunguka, no curtains. I was like, let me just go check out the villas. I mean, this is completely out of my reach. Let me go check out the villas as I wait. I went to check out the villas. Caretaker alifika nilimwambia, niliona hiyo villa,
nataka
discuss, and then I didn't even check the apartment. I saw the apartment 2 years after living there. I didn't even see the apartment.
Kuna kitu mfuko yangu haizi nikubali nifanye. Mimi niangalilia villa mimi.
Unaangalia tu mbali unasema ziko poa.
The best story is now the day I called Tafari and Ernest because I needed to move. So nikawachukua na wapeleka tu. I didn't tell them where we were going. So we drive.
Ulikuwa unasikia poa, unajua them niggas are gonna see. Them niggas are gonna see. Yeah.
Tulifika huko Tafari. Na Erosh walinita ile ukweli ile ya concern like how you planning to pay for this house. Na nikamwambia ukweli I don't know but I already paid. Make down payment.
Make down payment na una rent.
Umebook. Oh Lord.
But I lived there 4 years.
So me, the first time I went there, I'm driving into the parking, and then I'm asking the person I'm with, ilikuwa Erosh, I think, I don't know, I can't remember. I'm like, sasa shoot wazazi wake wakiwa. Jumina una gari kwa parking. Naona nyumba big and like, ain't no way. Lives here. Yeah, this is a family house. Ain't no way Chaxy is living. So we're approaching the house and just seeing random people running around. Like unajua ile ushaenda functions zenu za familia alafu watoto wanakimbia tu ndani. But sasa si watoto ni grown watu
wakubwa wako na utoto.
Nafungua hivi mlango. Erosh hajaniambia kitu. Nikaenda kwa Chaxy. You mean you really live alone? This is yours. Hakuna wazazi wanakaa mjioni. Nikapanda stairs nikaangalia alafu nikaingia room
matiti.
Nikapanda kwa stairs. Nikapatana na mama mkubwa. Ako uchi.
Na matiti ziko hapo.
Nikakuwa convinced hakuna wazazi hapo. There definitely no parents in this house. And then you go into the room. Now it's a walk-in closet. It's not even a room. The bed is there as an accessory. The bed is an accessory.
You have a bed in your closet.
Yeah.
Na maraks za nguo.
Bro, the parties. Sasa, so the story of that painting.
Yeah.
So the initial painting, I got a guy called Smokila.
Yeah.
That day nilikuwa na travel. So I called Erosh, nikamwambia kuna msana kama kupaint ukuta, but I think I need a bit more time. So I'd need you to come stay in so that when I have to go to the airport, at least kwa namse. So Smokila asked me what do you want, because I asked for dimensions za ukuta nini, nikamwambia you just have fun.
Wait,
bro. So
hii haikuwa hata idea yako.
The second one now is my idea. I'm telling you, there was an initial painting there.
I thought
Sasa,
you told someone to paint and you just painted a naked woman.
Na huko kama ukasema very nice.
Good job.
Sasa, Erosh called me. I was like, I'm not sure you. I was like, okay, what did you agree with Smokila to paint? I was like, we didn't agree on something specific. I told him to just have fun. Bora tu paint the entire wall. Erosh akanambia, I'm not sure whether you like this, but I've sent you a picture. I've sent a picture on WhatsApp. Bro, I go on WhatsApp. Smokila had painted someone whose name, of course, I can't reveal it, but it's a lady who's in the Kenyan music industry. I'll come and paint hapo.
Uchi.
Zizi. Ako uchi. But then it's someone that I was beginning to know at the time. So they were like, fuck. So if this girl comes
to your house,
because she's gonna come to the house
this
soon.
shit is creepy.
Bro, so I called Eli immediately. Now Eli is the guy who does my tattoos. I called Eli immediately. I sent him that picture now the whatever you guys saw. I was like, Eli, you have to paint this like as soon as tomorrow. Because the Rush had my keys. Sasa nauliza Rush, bro, like you saw this getting painted, I didn't think there's a problem.
Wewe umeniambia nichungie nyumba.
Lakini wewe umeacha instruction. Ukiambia Rush kapo kwa hiyo kiti. Hata hizi kamera mbwa ikuje ijiangushe. Rush ataka tu kwa hiyo kiti.
You and the dog
talk. Niambia nikae kwa kiti, bro. And how long did you do this painting after you got the house?
The one that you saw, Sasa.
Yeah. No. The first painting.
Literally the first few days.
I don't want to pesa aje.
But you know, every time Chaxy tells me I'm bad with money, I don't believe him, and then I see him use it. Alafu niko like, nyewe kijana.
You're bad with money. And sometimes you're like, me, I'm also bad, but you.
Tulikuwa happy tukifungua money market fund account. Alafu uliniuliza what are you doing? Kasema nimeona hii money market fund account, acha ni invest. Alafu pia akafungua tu for fun.
For vibe.
Yeah, na vibing tu.
Tilt your mic kidogo. Sasa that day, around 8 p.m, Erosh calls me, like, bro, I don't think I'll sleep here. I'm like, kwa nini? And nasikia tu pepo mingi tu. And then the house is so big.
Hiyo nyumba ilikuwa kubwa.
And so Erosh didn't spend the night.
That house was unnecessary. Unakumbuka nilikuhamisha?
Hey, but bro, tell me about the parties in that house though.
Me, I didn't pick up peak parties. Nilifika ziki die down.
Me, sijui kama yangu ni peak party, but nilitoka huko 7 asubuhi.
Those are peak parties.
Yo, ni rahisi. 7 is easy.
Na nilikuwa mbaya.
Oh, but
Hata
I
nilikuwa
attended
nachukua.
one pick party. The day Poji adopted a cat.
Yes.
Then
Mlifanya bash juu ameadopt cat.
See.
Bash ilisha Poji.
Ama bash ilisha aka-adopt cat.
adopt cat. Kuna cat tu ilikuwa inazunguka.
I'll show you
hapo
videos
nyama.
you won't believe, bro. 6 a.m. Niggas are
Yeah,
zombies.
ni pick
But
back.
even Ojizo, you came. Because when I think the last proper party we did, everyone came. We're supposed to do a 1 day end of year mic check. We went on Friday.
yeah.
Guys left on Sunday. We were just took up.
Okay, so do you know the thing I'm
Hiyo
thinking
nyumba
about?
ilikuwa na kifunguo. It's actually a good
Do you know what I'm thinking about right now?
Yeah.
I'm imagining, so Chaxy has moved out of his house, yeah? I'm the landlord. So I'm going into my house to see.
Hiyo kwanza
I
urudishe
go to the
deposit.
stairs.
I don't think guys understand how big that
Guys.
painting was.
And
Two
okay, guys,
floors.
and
No,
when we say
it's
painting,
two
we're not
floors.
saying it's on a canvas.
On
It's
the
painted
wall.
on the wall. So if there is a landlord, he's walking into a naked woman in his house. Labda hiyo siku kuna customer amesema, acha tuangalie hiyo nyumba. Wanaenda kufika kwa stairs anataka kumsukuma na mwambia,
Upstairs bado kuna jengwa.
kuna kitu tunatengeneza.
I'm curious to see if the people who moved in, kama walieka.
Of course walifunika. What do you mean? Hata kama ni mimi ningekuwa na
Hata mimi Chaxy.
No way, even you guys.
Bruh, what do you mean?
And it's not even about mzazi kukuja ni why?
Yani mi ningeingia hiyo nyumba nishike paint mwenyewe.
Ulirudishiwa deposit ama ulimwambia tu I know.
I'm sure they didn't give you.
I think the coolest story, no, I got 1 month back because it was 2 months.
Really?
Yeah, she gave me 1. Because I was such a good tenant. Bro, she was so mad that I had to leave her. Hata unakumbuka nikimwambia I need to move, she couldn't believe it.
Are you those people who pay rent in bulk?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Because
I
I have to spread my money, bro. I can't put all my money in the house. I have to put some of it in the house.
Haujakuwa creative for a long time. Ngoja ukiwa creative pekee for a long time utaanza kudu hivyo.
Ukiishi
Pesa
invoice to
uka.
invoice.
Wacha nikwambie kitu moja. The concept of not putting a lot of money. No,
salary.
like salary, not just only a creative, because you were working in an office, yeah. So like you had that
Invoice to
cushion of,
invoice.
you know. I'm saying when you are just a creative only. You see that concept of ati putting all my money in a house, inakaa ujinga sahi. Lakini wakati umesota uko na mali ya kulala. Si vibaya vile nadhani. I just want to
uko na ugali mayai yako tu safi.
mayai yako. I think I'll just man akuita form na mwambia bro. But you know what you have? A house.
Yeah. You definitely need shelter.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I'll just work harder, to be honest.
You're just rich. I think, moral of the story,
Yeah.
you just have a lot of money.
Ama you have a lot of hope.
Yeah.
More like I have a lot of hope. More like I think
Tumaini
more hope,
yako ni
bro.
matumaini.
I think more hope.
But honestly,
Kwa sababu-
mse wote ako kwa creative industry, vitu you do, ni ujinga. Tunakuwa tuna hope.
Even when I took a break from creating content, I was like, shit.
Hii ni lini?
I actually have I didn't create content for a good 2 years. Before mic check. Nilikuwa nimeenda 2 years, yeah. 0. Now those 2 years,
That's true.
I travel, I did, because sasa pesa yangu nilikuwa tu na do. But since we started shooting mic check, bro.
Nice problem.
Yeah,
You've been
Nilikuwa tu na do.
Cause
Na nataka kuambia kitu, mimi ni rafiki ya Chaxy. Na hiyo time nilikuwa mbaya. Yaani wewe ulikuwa unaishi maisha ya kifahari. Na mimi nateseka.
Charisma uko aisama. Charisma
Na bado mzika mnachangia same.
Tunaenda club tukienda split.
Ndio kumbuka Charisma akiniuliza, "Hii nyumba unalipa how much?" I told him akaniambia, "Watu wanalipa rent kama hii." I asked Charisma, "Kwa nini how much do you pay rent?" Akaniambia tusiongelee hiyo story.
Because when the first time I came to that house, hata shocked ni jina ndogo. I was flabbergasted.
You know, the problem.
That was everyone.
Alafu kila mtu anakuuliza unaishi huko.
You know the weird thing is even getting the house, I have to get vetted. I remember nauliza you're 24 years old. Why do you need a house this big?
Ushaenda uzanting interview.
Sasa and then they're like, okay, send me copies of sijui nini, mpaka sijui good conduct, DCI nini. I was like, that is a bit
Even
weird.
though
It's not weird. Even I mean, you weren't feeling like this is a lot for 24 years.
I asked the landlady, I mean, why can't I?
Chaxy, unajua chenye mi feel about wewe. Mi feel when mse mwenye haukuwa na lot ukigrow up.
I had nothing.
Sasa umekam Nairobi ukaamua.
Unataka yote.
Unataka kila kitu. Yaani Because everything you're doing is so extreme, you know. You're buying
Why are you
a ton shit of
describing it like
clothes.
that?
You're getting a 5-bedroom mansion, and you're alone.
Na bedroom zote ziko na vitanda.
Na manguo.
Unataka afadhali wangesema, this is an office.
Yeah.
This is a yoga room.
Bro, mimi tukishoot Miss Weeks, at times I'm like naenda huko sija like vile nimevaa nikienda, but najua naenda kwa Chaxy.
Utakosa
Nachukua tu shati. Na ukichukua shati ya Chaxy, hata akumbukangi urudishe. Hata akumbuki ilikuwa. Chaxy anaweza kuona na shati yako next week. I have a shirt like this one.
But mi nilishtuka because nilikuanga bado natoka hapo nje naona ana grill. Alafu unajua kijana ukamjinga. What? Like, not siku baya, like mse akujua.
Siko baya.
Mse asipokujua ana context nini akikuangalia. Not many positive thoughts.
Also, I want to agree with him in the context of, so I look at you and I don't... See, I'd miss that na kamjinga. Okay. Lakini unakaa uko na shida niko nazo. Tunakaa tuko level moja. Nilikuwa naona kaa tuko... Yani, Chaxy tukimit place nilikuwa nadhani, we're all struggling. Alafu nafika hapa kwa parking.
Unaona gari.
Naangalia pin.
Hapo unaona house.
Hata baba yangu aishi hivi.
House imeandikwa B8 mpaka una confirm.
Chaxy, don't worry, you can stay. I have a lot of rooms. Fuck.
Clearly.
No shit. No shit.
Then nishaimaliza kutembea hiyo nyumba.
But hey bro, but the memories in that house. Because sasa unaweza imagine during COVID, sisi tulikuwa tu huko. Bro, some of the best years. I'm not lying.
And you guys never...
Some of our best years, bro. Like we'd wake up, go to the golf course to do yoga. Tuna grill.
Sinukwali tu. COVID mali wasanii walikuwa wamesota.
Ukweli?
Mimi sikuwa tu nimesota, nilikuwa depressed.
Jioni tunabeba grill, tunaenda kwa dam, tunaona sunset.
Yani sasa umeshaambia watu ilikuwa na damu, ilikuwa na golf course.
Oh shit.
Na nataka niwashow kitu. Hii time akishio place, but I wasn't living very far like from Chaxy.
You're those sides.
Yeah. So Chaxy ulikuwa unaenda golf na kwa dam, na mimi mtaani nimelala depressed.
Na ugali mayai kwa tumbo.
Na saa zingine haiko.
Bro, kwanza we'd wake up mostly in the morning, make like meals for the whole day. And then the rest of the day we just do drugs.
Unajua saa zingine unadhani mbona niko aggressive kwako kwa shoot za Messi.
Memories na kutandika.
Uchungu kananipata.
Bro, good old days. I promise you, bro. Those are some of the best years of my life.
Because I won't lie, I feel like because me naweza sema nilikuwa before Hame, because we used to stay in the same building. Interestingly. So mimi nilikuwa na
kuacha kwa block.
Good thing now I bought the block. So but anyway, one thing I can attest is the move to that house ilitupatia some confidence. Tulianza kuroll na a little bit of confidence. Tulikuwa najua if shit hits the fan, manze kesho na golf course. Like me didn't have a problem with being depressed in a golf course. I didn't see any problem in
and
that.
And that's why I'm saying I wish I was included. Because maybe I'd be in a better place.
Facts.
You know.
Haungewaka hada.
Ningekuwa tu na Chaxy.
Yeah, because ilikuwa inafanya yani, because what I knew is the distance was far. It was far.
Yeah, it was far.
And also it was hard to get Ubers, which meant if you go there on a Friday, the best you can do is get out of there on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Ama ule mse mwenye mnafika naye kama na drop watu akiwa
unatoka naye.
Unatoka naye because your place ilikuwa tu na feeling flani ya bro. Chill manze.
Bro, mlango ni kaili kwa na condom, ukienda kutoka na kurudisha.
What one?
Protection.
Psych to me brain cells. Hata mimi kijua utanisho.
Bro, yeah. But the thinking behind it, because even Mimi pushed me so much. Like even in terms of just grinding mindset, I think I really needed a big change in my life.
Away from you.
And then he slowly came back.
Yeah.
Slowly came back. Yeah, but shout out.
That's upatana.
Shout out. Hey.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out to that place, bro.
Yeah.
So kwanza msee amenitumia how low.
Are you moving?
No, you.
Sorry, let me see.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm looking to move anyway.
Nakumbuka kusema unahama alafu it's like a nice place
It's a nice place. It looks nice. Yeah.
This one I can't live here. This is
tuendelee alafu mtaongelea utajiri
too old,
baadaye.
charisma talk.
Kasirishe msanii.
Wait, anyway, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Man. Where do you guys want to begin?
Guy episode by the end ndo tumeanza.
I feel like we're like 30 minutes in.
Tukiongelea golf.
That's the fun. That's the
Tuanze
fun
na
of
watu
doing a pod.
wameshoot Mkenya.
Yeah.
Fuck
I think maybe
the
the backstory of how we got here. Because we recorded way earlier. So nikama it's like we haven't recorded the pod in an entire week.
Yeah.
So during that time, the Albert Ojwang happened. Yeah. So what do we know so far on Albert?
So there's a bunch of things. So basically, Albert was brought from, is it Migori? Homa Bay. From Homa Bay to Nairobi, akawekwa kwa Stenje. Of course, people know the story of him being killed in the cell. And then there's been a whole cover-up situation of the cops trying to cover that situation and be like, no, he tried to commit suicide, yeah.
But
but
they
of
literally
course,
said he hit himself on the wall.
Bro,
Until you die.
You know, unless you're crazy, until you're mentally gone, and unless you're mentally gone, that's not that. It's not to just bang your head, you know.
Pain threshold unafikiri uanze wapi?
You know.
Yeah.
So I guess so they did an autopsy of the body, of course, and everything, and they ruled out that completely, and they said this person for sure was killed, and they realized like there was strangulation, there was cuts on his mouth, alikuwa amepigwa pia. So the story has just been coming out. Now there's the cop who was manning the cell.
Station, yeah.
His name is Mwass. Apparently was sent by the OCS for the station. I'm forgetting the name. Some stupid name also.
I'll get you the names. Just continue.
So Mwass aliambiwa apparently. Now this is a story that came out I think 1 or 2 days ago. He was told by apparently the OCS, who was told by by Lagat, who's the
Deputy.
I can give you the statement.
Yeah. So Lagat is the deputy IG. Alipeana apparently word to the OCS that kuna msee anakam na nataka mrough up.
That's an order that you can just...
That we want you to punish him. So the OCS calls Mwass and is like, I need you to figure this thing out. Akampatia $2,000 when they were apparently. Now, this is the story that he's put out on his statement to IPOA. This is the second statement. So the first one, he put out a statement, but he said it was a lie. I was being coerced. And then I realized these people want to throw all the blame at me. So now he came out with the second statement and said, I was given 2 Gs. And I was told to go and find guys in the cell to beat up this guy when he fikas. So he says he goes to the cell, he has the 2,000 bob, he calls one of the guys, I think one of the guys is called Ngige. So the 3 guys come anaongelesha, and then the guys are like, hii kazi hatuwezi fanya tukiwa soba, hii 2,000 enda utununulie mzinga. Bro, watu waliua mtu juu ya mzinga. Wakachukua mzinga, wakaenda wakakunywa. So the DCI guys bring Albert to the station, he's put in the cell. And so kina nani, the cop allows the 3 guys, goons, into the cell, and they start chapaying him. And apparently this guy, the cop even says, hey, even me I took it because I'm like, what? Amemchapa sana. So he goes and stops them and whatever. And apparently the guy is really, really injured at that point. So yeah, anashtuka, amepigwa, ameumia. Haki walimpiga, akaumia, mjinga sana. So akaambia, the other cops, mnaweza peleka umse OC. Apparently pia wakadelay hiyo situation ya kumpeleka kwa hospitali, kuidelay. Of course akapelekwa after a long time na akakuwa amedie. So the protests have been happening. Yeah. The protests have been happening ever since because of that situation. And rightfully so. Because someone was taken from his house with his family. But they alikuwa ameenda kuvisit his folks.
Yeah.
Wakakuja wakamchukua na wakamleta. The only child of that family, a father, a teacher, lost forever just because someone was butthurt because of a tweet.
Yeah.
And you see, the thing for me, the first red flag for me was when I commit a crime here where we are, I'm taken to the police station.
Closest.
The closest, yeah. Unless there's a specific reason why you have to go to Nairobi.
Yes. Walimtoa kutoka Homa Bay.
Yeah.
Mpaka Nairobi.
And also he doesn't live in Homa Bay. Homa Bay is where the parents
I think he lives in
He lives in Taita.
Oh, not
He's that teacher in Taita?
Oh,
He's
is
a
it
teacher in
Taita?
Taita.
Okay.
He'd gone to Homa Bay to see his parents. Yeah. He's not even a teacher in Nairobi to begin with. I want to circle back to a few things that happened from the previous night.
Yeah.
So there's a story of the guy was taken from the station.
Yeah.
One, CCTVs from the station were cleared.
Yeah. OCS alibuild
So the
up.
station has CCTVs, but they were instructed to clear the CCTVs, which means there's something that is being hidden
They knew what they were
at the
doing.
station.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Then there's the story that the guy was taken from the station and murdered in Karura. Tortured in Karura, murdered, taken back to the station, and then from the station now he was taken to Mbagathi.
Yeah.
So on arriving in Mbagathi, because he arrived dead already,
Yeah.
the doctors at Mbagathi refused
Yeah.
to accept a dead person.
Yeah.
Because you are in a hospital, you accept a patient.
Yeah.
If someone is dead, you take them to the
Mortuary.
Mortuary, yeah.
so that's the video that the hospital was brave enough to share with Citizen TV that shows their movement, which means the guy arrived dead. So there's a story of Karura that no one has been able to verify,
Yeah.
but who knows what happened. Now, Albert Ojwang is not a complicated story. The only reason why Nashindwa... Okay, the guy arrived at Central. So everyone in Central, who was at Central, that night when he arrived, those are the first people you begin with.
Yeah.
Including the person who's in charge of the station, who's the OCS.
Yep.
Now, all the answers we need ziko tu hapo.
Ziko tu hapo.
So, nashindwa,
mbona-
mbona tunatafuta story nyingi?
Akarao, kama I was asking someone, if the tactics for the cops are torture while in the cells, si watochariwe pia. Watuambie story yenye ili happen. Kwa sababu kama wana feel mse alifaa kutochariwa kwa sababu ya chenye alidu, hata hao wafinyo watu majina, wameua mse.
Yeah.
I have no sympathy for cops. I really cannot stand cops in this country at all. At all.
Then I think also the bigger play here is the deputy IG Lagat.
Yeah.
So for sure everything points at Lagat.
Yep.
The confession that we have now
Is
because remind me his name because I'm sure you know the Luya name.
Mwass.
Mwass initially covered up the story.
Yep.
Then went back to IPOA.
Yeah, because he realized manze wameniwekea ngori yote.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He covered up the story. Walielewana as boys, they cover up the story. Typical cop behavior.
Yeah.
Then he realized he's been thrown under the bus. With the guys he was covering up the story now. Wow. Because he wasn't alone in the station.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Akamwa, you know what? I'll go back to IPOA, ask for witness protection, and I'll
Take back my
nitasema kila
statement,
kitu. So
yeah.
that
Yeah.
dropped today.
Yeah.
So the full statement.
It dropped, I think, yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, sometime yesterday.
Should I find it? Should we go
Yeah.
through it?
Yeah,
Just
so
to
it
be
was
clear on the particulars.
Yeah, and it
I'll
was
give
a
it to you
long
today.
ass statement, man.
Hey.
Alifanyile
I thought tungesoma, but it's long.
Long,
Come on.
like 5 pages.
But you've summarized
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
so
yeah.
I am. So now so this guy comes and says what happened.
Yeah.
Now, why is Lagat not being arrested already?
He said that he stepped aside. What does stepping
What does
aside
stepping
mean?
aside mean?
So then okay, he's the deputy. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to get to here,
Yeah.
I'm struggling to find the correct words for
Yeah.
it, is that when it comes to power play, because this is very, it's political-ish, and in politics you talk about power play.
Yeah.
When any president comes in office, the first things you have to secure is defense, police, you know, those crucial systems. Because otherwise, if you don't have the police and the military on your side as the president, bro, things could go left very quickly. Now, in that what is it called? Your protocol, your leadership within the police, the ranks within the police. So he's the deputy inspector general, right, of police. Who's the current inspector general of police?
It's what's his name? What's his name? I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah, same. I'm trying to remember.
Lord.
Anyway,
Yes, yeah,
that
Google.
guy, Mwangi just Google. Kanja.
Yes.
So for the deputy, for no one to be doing anything about the deputy, because I saw the OCS.
Bro, alikuwa hadi kwa
OCS
briefing ya Albert.
Alikuwa briefing at the following morning.
Yeah.
He was there on the left side, bro.
Like, you know, those ones where someone just spits on your face.
Yeah.
Like dancing on your grave.
You know, I saw him at the briefing. Alikuwa na darkish shades. I'm like, you don't want to see your eyes, bro. Because it's possible to be like,
and I don't know, maybe someone can check. I think Lagat is the one who was from GSU. Lagat ndo alikuwa from GSU. And there was a bunch of bad things happening around the GSU when he was there. So this is someone, I remember for a while, people were talking about it, and this is someone who was never even meant to be in this position, you know, because it's someone who has had a track record of this kind of things.
So how do you rise through those ranks then, if you have?
And I'm sorry, I don't know how political we're going with this, but I've said to you guys before, that's the thing about Ruto's administration. He has given power to people who don't deserve that power, who shouldn't be in those places.
Right,
and that's why bad
right
things are
back
happening
in the ass.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, Ruto is evil to the point that he doesn't have to be at a place to do something bad. Bad things just happen around him under his leadership.
Yeah.
He's so bad and so evil to the point that things are just happening around his leadership. Because honestly, why would you put someone like Lagat in that position knowing his track record? Because he does know.
Yeah. So then it has to point to something that that happens within the political circles, which is loyalty over.
Yes.
In politics and that ecosystem is loyalty over competence.
Yes.
Loyalty over anything
Integrity,
else.
nothing.
Over integrity over anything else. So it means, especially the guys at the top, have to be guys who can fix things for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only way it works.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how competent you are.
Yep.
Like look at the head of DCI.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of puppets at the top.
Yani, everybody at the top is a ridiculous person.
Then you start seeing at videos of Amin. His name is Amin, right? As a what is it called? As one of the witnesses during the ICC trial. Then it just points into.
Yeah.
I saw people online insinuate to the thing of, okay, kumbe we're being run by a cartel and we didn't know.
Yeah.
Kindiki, who's the deputy president, was one of the lawyers defending the president during the ICC trial. You look at Amin, who was one of the witnesses. You look at the guys at the top.
Anarudisha mkono.
Clearly, ni loyalty over everything.
It's loyalty over everything, bro. In politics, loyalty speaks volume.
Yeah. So that situation was in the Senate, and the Senate people really went at them. So IPOA was represented there, the police service, the IG, whatever, all of them were represented there. Kipchumba Murkomen was there, of course, as the cabinet secretary. Kwanza alijitoa kwa hiyo ngori. You should go and watch the clip of now.
I saw that. I saw the
alijichuja. Alikuwa zile za
I saw even Bonnie Halole telling him you have to step aside.
You have to step aside. You're not fit for this position, you know. So it was there, and there was a lot of questions being asked, and of course there's been a lot of outrage, and so people have been on the streets just calling for justice and accountability. Because I mean, honestly, as you're saying, why is Lagat still in a position? First of all, niskia step aside, nikasikia kutapika. Like, this man should have resigned. Except that I don't care. Like, don't be there and then face prosecution. You know, because it's not, a life was lost because of your actions. It's not enough to just resign. It's not like ati misfix walishindwa charisma alichelewa misfix, so step aside juu akona amekuwa kitu hold back. It's kuna mtu amekufa, so prosecution should come after. But now I've also been asking myself questions. Yesterday a lot of PR just all of a sudden came out. All of a sudden, this guy is stepping aside.
Government bloggers.
All of a sudden, Lagat is stepping aside. All of a sudden, this guy has a new statement. I'm like, is there something we're being...
Yeah.
There has to be. Bro,
the president gave the family money.
Money, you know. Bro, it's Sakaja anapeana jobs juu kwa Bibia, the guy.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm like, so much PR has come out in this one day or 24 hours. There's something they're trying to hide.
Bro, you have to realize that the biggest people who run propaganda in any country is the government. I can guarantee you today, bro, the government has what you call unlimited resources. And this does not, I'm not even just talking about money. I'm talking about brains. I'm talking about personnel. I'm talking about now you back it up with financial resources. So when you see some of these things online, I promise you, a lot of these things, the government in a click can contain a situation so quickly.
So quick, yeah.
The government in a click can start propaganda. The government in a click, even some of these chants you hear against the president,
sometimes.
Some of these are initiated just by the government because they know it's a play on the people.
Yeah.
They know all these things, bro.
I mean, so just today they've sent goons to the maandamano. Nani goons, watu hawana hata chakula nyumbani.
But why do they send goons? Because their intention is to create fear.
Yeah.
What the government doesn't want is people meeting in town in solidarity.
Peacefully.
So what they do is they'll keep sending goons so that uogope kwenda, because you know you'll get roughed up, they'll steal your phone, you could get killed. And we'll get into that. But now even coming back to this Albert situation, you saw how quickly they found the killers of the MP. How quickly
100%.
it was easy for them to find these killers. And this is just a
One of
reminder.
them.
that this is a reminder that at the end of the day, we are by our own.
Yeah, it's
someone
us
was
and
arrested
it's
at
us
the
and
border.
them. It's
You
us
know,
and
someone was
them.
arrested at the border. So even when we've gotten to the point as a country where the life of a Kenyan means nothing to the government.
Absolutely nothing.
That's why someone like Boni can get detained in Tanzania, tortured,
Bruv, and the government
neighborhood,
won't
and
intervene.
Kenya won't do anything.
Actually, they'll apologize to that government.
They'll apologize to that government because
yeah.
they don't care about you, bro. The political class in Kenya and the elites only care about their own people.
Man, so sorry to Bonnie for all this.
So when you
man.
when you see Albert die and it's taken how long has it been, bro? All these days. Someone who died at Central. I'm like, that's fine. The people at Central that night.
And this
the
shit
case is solved.
it's really not rocket science.
It's not rocket science,
It's really
bro.
not rocket
also,
science.
begin with why the CCTV was arrested.
Yeah.
Was already
Number one,
there's a clue there.
that's a red flag. That's someone who needs to
Simple.
be arrested.
And I'm sure all that footage is something that can be recovered.
Yeah.
Even if it can be recovered.
A death happened at your station
Simple.
and you fumbled the CCTV.
Why?
We unafaa kuwa ndani.
So nakwambia, it's not a unajua kama even the MP one was complicated because it was a hit and run.
Yeah.
So we have to start piecing clues
Yeah.
together. Kujua ni nani
Because hata kuingia cell lazima watu waandikwe.
Obi.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not a problem, but because it's an ordinary Kenyan like Albert,
And they're
they
covering
don't
for each
care.
other.
So they care about themselves. They'll cover for each other. This case is going to drag kidogo.
Yeah.
This guy will come out and and confess what happened, full statement. And
it's
Bado
still
Lagat
dragging.
has not been arrested. Nothing is happening. The case is still dragging because they don't care, bro.
Yeah.
And it's actually very sinister. They're the same guys leading the investigations against themselves.
Yeah, how can you investigate yourself?
Kwanza, I think Lagarde said, which, let me tell you, I don't know. When I was reading that statement, I was very confused. Lagarde said he's stepping aside for his deputy to take. I was like, deputy, I'm gonna deputy. I said,
Yeah, they create positions for themselves.
it's so ridiculous. So imagine someone who was a subordinate of Lagarde is the one now who's
taking over. And I want you to try investigate yourself and what is the word ukipatia crime mse? Pata kitu.
no.
What is the word when you find someone guilty of a crime?
So you found them guilty.
Yeah, okay, but there's just another word that makes more sense. Basically, I was alluding to, I want you to investigate yourself. No, there's a word. Si nilikuwa naulizani mniambie word ndio
Yeah, go find them
nikasema
guilty.
Guilty.
What is the word ukiwa charged of a crime?
Prosecuted.
Kuna hiyo pia, but anyway, if I remember it, I'll tell you.
confused.
But charged, but not exactly. So basically, investigate yourself, and then ukuja ujiseme uko guilty. You know, there's a word for that. That's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, so I want you to investigate yourself. Not even no. Whatever, man. Let's forget. So I want you to investigate yourself legally for a crime that deserves punishment in committee, and I want you to find yourself guilty. Because that is essentially what I
I wish high school wangenifanyia hivyo.
And nataka nikuulize, how many people died last year during the protests in June,
man.
right?
Yeah.
How many policemen have been prosecuted for it?
I don't think.
So now
they
you
have
think
accountability.
saizi they'll investigate themselves and prosecute themselves.
I think the only reason they do that with this is because of the uproar and the nature of how it happened.
Bro, but there's been uproar all through.
I agree, but I feel like for this one, they can't linger. You know, the other ones, the problems are people wore masks and things, and the government has said things like we can't tell who.
Yeah, and it happened in the public streets.
You know, streets. But this one they can't escape. They can't escape. The Albert one, they can't escape
But my
because of the
question
reasons you've said.
But my question
It happened
is,
in the station. There has to be someone who was being accountable for the people in the station. Like, you can't escape it.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem they have with this one. As much as they might want to wiggle themselves out of it, it's just a bit impossible at this point.
But the question would be, if orders are coming from above, are the people above going to be prosecuted as well?
Someone will have to take the fall, though.
But is it going to be someone senior?
I hope Lagarde goes down.
That's what I'm saying.
And you're gonna matumaini.
The issue is already if when they're wiggling around as issue that is not a
it's not complicated.
It's not complicated to find out what happened. The answer's right with
They have the
lie with
answers.
them.
Wamezificha tu.
Sasa ndo nauliza, do you think, okay, if this guy is only coming up front and saying what happened in a statement because he's realized he's being thrown under the bus. If they didn't throw him under the bus and all of them started the story, then what happens? Okay.
But you see, Chaxy, I don't think there's a world where they don't throw him under the bus. And that's the thing I said even the first time. They'll find someone who's just like a small cop at Central and they'll pin everything on him.
Yeah.
That one had to happen.
So the big guys just walk out of this scot-free.
See, now the problem is the small fish has realized I'm the one who's going to go down. And he's setting all the big... Let me tell you the next thing that I'm thinking might happen. I wouldn't be shocked if the OCS also puts out a statement saying, "Enyeme, I was told to do this."
No, but okay, if he admits.
Yeah. Because now the OCS is in the... Let me tell you, the person in the
I saw the
hottest
OCS
soup
in
right...
court yesterday,
Yeah,
right?
the person... It's called Talam or something.
Talam, yeah.
The person in the hottest soup right now is the OCS. Because, number one, this cop has said, I was given orders by who? My OCS. CCTV ilichapishwa na nani? OCS. So OCS, whether I like or not, yet area at the center, at the thick of things. So it's either Lagat said something to you, or you're the one who was giving these orders. Because your person, the people under you are saying you gave the orders to them. CCTV is gone. Someone was murdered the night, CCTV is gone. Because of who? Because of you. So you are in the thick of things. If you don't tell us who told you to do this, him is gone.
Because the issue is not saying.
Yeah.
The issue is, are they going to publicly state
That's
what
what
he
I'm-
says?
and that's what I'm saying, Chaxy.
And whoever he mentions, will he prosecute?
And that's
Will
what
they
I'm saying for
prosecute?
Chaxy. The problem with that Talam has now is if he doesn't do that, if he doesn't go to court and testify, it's him who's going down.
Because when it comes to human life, as precious as human life is, and the fact that people can't just be murdered in cold blood and get scot-free, evil, in my mind, I'm thinking, with such a high-profile case that involves the loss of a Kenyan citizen, then you go to all lengths to get evidence, including if Lagat actually gave instructions through a phone call, Safaricom has all the phone records. It's as simple as, we need to hear that conversation,
Bro, now
hear how the orders goes.
Watch out at
Now,
Safcom. These people find terrorists who communicate with very...
through proxy channels, bro. Yeah.
So they have means of getting this.
So that's what I'm saying. If you care about the life of a Kenyan, then this is not a hard case to solve. Only because it
100%.
happened
That's a
within a
very
station.
good point.
Now, whether this guy was driven to Karura or not, do you know how many CCTVs we have on the road from here to Karura, bro?
Yep.
Do you know how easy it is to confirm that a white Probox picked this guy?
I really
from
like
here,
what you've said.
drove
If we
through-
value that life, this is not a difficult case.
Bro, this is within one day. Within one day, the case is solved, bro.
Yeah.
Easy, done. And everyone responsible
But
is held accountable.
accountability.
And also to realize that they don't care about human life. What just happened today, bro?
Yeah.
Man.
We have a video of 2 policemen shooting a hawker selling masks who's not even protesting.
The man
standing.
didn't even resist. Like, if he had listen,
At
and,
close
and
range.
listen, Kenyan cops, we already know they're dumb as shit. They're stupid as fuck, yeah.
Maybe
If you have a
niseme mara
problem,
mbili.
Just to double down.
we know they're dumb. So they might have found him on the road and arrested him. Hakuwa na dukitu, wangemshika wamweke ndani.
Which is the
Wakenya
normal. Because I know at the end of the day,
tutaenda
watu wangapi wameshikwa, and then guys
tuende
whoever want to go
contribute
to the station.
watatolewa. Hiyo ni sawa. Man, they hit this guy.
Roughed
He
him
didn't
up.
even like hata unajua vile someone can fight you and you fight back. You're like, "Ay, hapana." He didn't even do shit like that. This dude, close range, pointed a gun to his head and shot the man and walked away like he had done nothing.
You know, fuck, I wanted to say it, the beauty of that. I'm like, there's no beauty in that. But what I was alluding to, if you look at that video clearly, I see I see like a GoPro, I see a bunch of cameras. For sure, I can guarantee you, we're gonna get clearer images.
But they've
that we
covered
can
their
work
faces,
with.
Chucks.
That's fine. You can cover your face. But because I saw the guy had the helmet thing and maybe like a mask halfway.
Yeah.
But if you can, whatever pictures we get, side profiles, front profiles, that camera is fully covered.
Yeah.
All those cameras, the GoPros are kneeling. Because you can
okay.
see even someone running across the screen, still recording it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can piece together and try to identify
And you know,
who these 2
the
people
other
are.
thing is, this is now irrefutable evidence.
Because also charisma, remember,
Mm.
we have the different arms of the police and military have different dressing.
Yeah.
So if we
You
have
can
a
pin
full
down the-
picture
okay.
of the guys, we
Okay.
can be like, okay, this is someone from GSU. Then we begin with GSU. Bro,
Yeah.
if someone showed you a side profile of myself and I'm dressed in, kama tunavanga the same clothes kila siku, I know this guy has pictures, nini. It's not hard to identify this person.
And the good thing with this one is there's, again, irrefutable evidence. Like, for the
Guys
first
on
time,
camera.
hakuna ati... Unajua, the other ones are normally weird camera angles. You can't
Yeah,
really tell.
blurry.
This one is literally there, and it's taken by. But you'll see a stupid person in Parliament say, "Oh, that's a doctored video." You know, someone stupid like a KJ,
KJ,
like a
bro.
KJ, just an idiot, to ridiculous. Anyway, utaona tu mtu fala akisema hiyo, but we have enough. We have enough people who've taken videos of that to a point where now it's not like, you know how Kina Ruto and his cronies will come and try to say some things to switch that thing. Oh, najua watoto wanatengeneza I don't. This time it's there.
Bro, but charisma.
Yeah.
Even last year, bro, there was so much evidence. Because
Yes.
remember, even the issue of the goons.
Yes.
Like the government will literally send goons to say that goons overtook the protest, so the police had to defend businesses and stuff. Now, we had videos of goons getting paid, hired.
Yes.
Remember the guy in the Range Rover, forgotten who was a former
Yeah, I
politician?
remember, yeah.
Who was like, we have all that, what happened?
But actually, you know the problem with those videos, a lot of people run behind these things are staged. This specific video, I feel like even those sympathizers and people who, so if you have anyone on the fence about this, this is a tipping point for them. Because actually, your video is gruesome, man. Meet the level of ruthlessness in that video, just the lack of care and human nature in that person to offer a person like that for me is indicative of like where we are as a country. Like if I don't agree with you, you're dead.
Yeah. Also,
And it's because the Ruto and whoever, the people at those positions have enabled these people. Because there's no accountability. And so these people feel like I can walk around and do whatever the hell I
they
want.
get away with it.
You know, and they have gotten away with it.
even the
as you said.
statement of, again, remind me this guy.
Yeah, Mwass.
Mwana. Because Mwana says when he received the call, because he left the station like usiku like at 10 something, he received the call in the morning. Akiuliza, did you hear what happened to Albert?
Yeah.
He called the OCS and the OCS told him, don't worry, that's fine. Nothing will happen.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then later the OCS told him, wacha kunicall kwa hii number. Hapa tutatrakiwa.
Bro,
So Mwass says, I even went and deleted my texts. You know? Because I was like, okay, yeah.
but the good thing, that's what I'm telling you, bro. Messages, phone calls, all those
you
things,
can always check
records
these
are
things.
there, bro. I
If
can
they
guarantee you,
want
the messages nimekutumia leo ukidelete. They're still in the
Ni ile
cloud.
kitu ya madem. If they want to, they will.
They will.
You know?
So it's now the because unaona kama like last year your point here, critical mass action.
Yeah.
What the government realized is they can't quote in quote allow that to happen again, because they know if they allow that to happen, so it's going to stay. So even goons coming in today in such huge numbers, and you see videos. I saw the videos of the boda guys. I'm like, bro, unataka kuniambia tu hao ni actual Kenyan citizens? 200 of them wamepanda nduthi, wamefuel, wamesema tunaenda tao kupiga watu na protest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Gaucho hata alienda kuongea na wengine.
Aya. Then there's videos of the big group of guys wanapatiwa rungu. You've seen videos wanapatiwa rungu, and then they're being escorted by policemen, bro.
To go and cause chaos.
Bro,
Si utao.
the cops were literally... So, Chaxy was showing me the video. The cops are literally driving in between the motorbikes of the goons.
Wakienda kupiga protesters.
You know how? Imagine if... So, when us guys were doing the protest, when we were in the protest, a cop kawudi, wakipita katikati yetu wanapita kutuchapa. Hao wanatembea na goons ni kama
Ni
goons
face
ndo
off.
motokedi yao.
Because mbele, basically,
Mbele
it's
ni
a face
protesters.
of protesters, goons, and cops. It's so insane, bro.
It's like a motor... But to be fair, it's the same thing. The cops are goons just like them. So,
True.
For me, it's like it's the same people.
Is it the same week gari zilichomwa sijui number plates zikapatikana ni gari?
This is last week
Last
now.
week, yeah.
Last week.
So last week, they
theatrics have
sent
been
cars
crazy.
in Tao, set them ablaze. But the good thing is, again, pictures and videos.
Yeah.
The guys are running, because you can run number plates of any
Yeah,
kind. Can
yeah.
Okay, like, hey, kwanza wrong plates. This is the car from 202 that doesn't, you know.
Exist
So guys are
anymore.
like, okay. So someone brought cars in CBD
And
and set
traumatized
them
them.
ablaze.
Yeah.
And there's a video I saw of Mike Sonko akisema there's a time they used to buy second-hand cars, go set them ablaze
Yeah.
in town.
But I told you, the chief of propaganda is the government.
Yeah.
Government has unlimited resources. They have unlimited brains.
They control the
So,
narrative. They want
I can promise you, the government know guys are going to protest today.
Yeah.
The government in Kenya does not want people to protest. So what does the government do? They get ahead of it.
Can I ask you
They
guys
say,
a question? No, finish. Sorry.
So that's what I'm telling you. Even this chance you're hearing, Ruto must go as a genuine one.
Yeah.
Easy one term, easy nini. I can guarantee all of them. are
Like
going
any
to
one
sponsor
time
all of them.
Nikali.
One time nikati.
sikia.
Hiyo inamuuma hapa.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, Rigiji.
Let me ask you a question. One time, acha nikuulize. Ruto must go is a statement that is very clear.
Yeah.
If you say Ruto must go anywhere in this world, people understand what exactly it is. What the fuck is one term?
One time ni ya Rigiji. Okay, pia Rigiji si ati ni smart sana. Pia
Yeah.
nasema
Mi Kenya nakwambia tu ni the government the government has to get ahead of a statement like Ruto must go. And the easiest way to do it is to create another one that does not say the same message, but locally muna understand.
But you know Ruto must
that
go
is
hurt
fun to
him.
play
Yeah,
with.
you're right.
Because it's
That's what
direct,
the other
straight
one-
to
the
the point.
chief
Yeah.
government propaganda, bro.
Because you know the problem with the other ones, let me tell you. So like even the Kasongo ones, what they do is even when it hypes, you see him doing a video dancing to the song. When we liked Angukanayo, he dances to the song. So those ones he just mimics you. But have you noticed if there's one he's not been able to banter around or do anything, his Ruto must go.
That's what I'm telling you.
Straight
So when you hear,
forward.
because what came to replace Ruto must go, bro?
One term.
So you think bro?
It may replace.
Hey. Siku hizi wase wengi wanataka kusema one term over Ruto must go. And it's not the end of it. Bro, the government is ahead of... Hii conversation nafikiri tunahave hivi saizi, the government wanajua will have it, and they'll be 10 steps ahead because the government will deploy the smartest brains to
the
get
dumbest
ahead of
thing.
such things, bro. Propaganda number 1 is the government. Goons number 1 is the government.
And you see, because the elite class has kept Kenya in poverty, they can control them because they'll give them a few shillings.
Yeah.
And them guys will go on the road. Because let's be honest, and I say this in the most polite way possible. How goons wameenda tao leo? Wako na shida mingi kuliko si wase tumekaa hapa.
Facts.
Wanateseka kuliko si wase by far. Next week mzee atakuwa analia njaa akitafuta job. But for some reason, he's on the streets beating people who are fighting for a Kenyan like him.
Yeah.
A Kenyan whose rights are not fought for just like him. Because you know those guys were possibly some of them were in the other Mandamano, and possibly one of the guys who died was someone they've seen or heard or know or whatever. So huyo angekuwa yeye any other day. Umse ameshutiwa na mask angekuwa any of those dudes.
Yeah. But you see, it's
But hiyo umaskini, kuweka watu kwa umaskini imefanya they can put us in that place where they can control some of the masses, you know.
But you see, it's designed like that because the government. Listen, any government, and it's not even unique to Kenya, but any government in this world needs goons to run. All of them. Sasa, you think you can't pay me any money to be a goon for the government, so they'll never come to me. But they'll keep Kibera the way it is because they know
need
people
to.
there.
They need to.
Anyone who lives hand to mouth. And hand to mouth iko na levels. Hata sisi tunaweza kuwa tu tuko better kushinda wao, but bado we're still living hand to mouth. Ni hand to mouth ya Lavington na kuna hand to mouth ya Kibera. Zote ni hand to mouth. Difference tu ni yako maybe you can forgo some things. I can guarantee you it's design imekuwa hivyo by design because the government knows they need people who will take a small amount of money. This guy says the cops were paid, the inmates were paid 2,000
that shit is ridiculous.
2,000
bob
shillings,
to
2,000 shillings for 3 people to kill
Na
someone.
walikunywa tu mzinga.
So niambie mse, someone who can do that, someone who clearly has nothing to lose. Ni mse mwenye akiambiwa saizi panda nduthi muende tao.
Ndio 500 enda upige charisma.
Yeah, bro.
Ananivaa.
Inafikanga nyumbani hiyo pesa.
Haiwezi. Acha nikwambie pesa ya ujinga. Hata ili kutoka cell. Walikunywa kwa cell.
But also, I think also as people, and it has to go back to something called values. I think what I hate the most about even a platform like X, like I love how powerful X can be, but I hate X in equal measure.
Because it can do the
exact opposite. But also, a lot of people are pretenders, like genuinely speaking. Mimi, I'm more for, if you really mean it, and it goes back to values. If your values actually align by evil, no one needs to sway your direction, ama nini. Because I go on X sasa. I'm like, okay, what's the name of the MCA for Kilelesho?
Alai.
I'm like, Alai has been against people ever since. There's a switch. Alai was for the people until Alai was not for the people. So saizi, if Alai posts a statement supporting Ojwang, suddenly now people are retweeting it, saying nini.
Yeah,
I'm
we
like, but
forget,
this guy is for the people.
bro. Yeah.
I go again online. I'm like, Itumbi will post a statement saying sijui nini. People are supporting Itumbi for a specific statement he'll say.
There's people who are retweeting and supporting Ruto's statement on Ojwang.
Exactly.
And Raila's
I'm so
statement on
confused.
Ojwang. I was like,
And
do you guys not know who is actually on top of all the, the leader of this whole thing? He's the one person who can deal with a statement yake account for anything and as a deal nice stuff.
Akisnap hivi aseme Ruto, if Ruto snaps and says he wants to change immediately, it will be done immediately.
Immediately.
That's how
In an
powerful he
hour's
is.
time, we'll have evidence, CCTV, watu wako behind bars.
So what I was leading to, now some people forget so fast, is that the government knows that.
And they play on that.
And they play on that. Because the government knows that when there's outrage, then the government needs to sort of divert that attention. The government can get behind actual outrage.
Yeah. And I like what you're saying because, and I've said this to people around me. That's why so the one-time things by Rigijime, I laugh at them but I tell people, it can never be lost in my mind who Rigiji is. Because when Kenyan youth were being killed on the road last year, Rigiji was the deputy president. When I was being beaten by cops on the road, Rigiji was the deputy president. He never said anything. He supported his president. So it doesn't get lost to me that this person is only complaining right now because his foot is not inside.
Again, Kenyans
Bro,
values.
And I think that's what we
values. Same thing. Saizi people on Rigiji's side because Rigiji is out
because he's making jokes.
And also because he'll come out and state some obvious things. Like for instance, the war in Sudan. I'm like, when the leaders leading the war and genocide in Sudan were in the country twice, I'm like, of course, that's a statement. No one needs to tell you that the government is saying we are agreeing with these people.
And was he not in government at some point?
He was. So when a parallel government, you say you're a democracy and you can host people here and allow people to form a parallel government of another country. Do you know how crazy that is?
This man was also in government when people who are seeking solace in Kenya were being abducted from Kenya.
Definitely. So it's only because they have a fallout that that's what I'm saying. Kenyans forget, bro. And come 2027, I can guarantee you, bro. I will not be surprised even if they vote back the same regime.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's withholding so much information.
I hope they don't act though, and that's why I like platforms like Mic Check because so you guys speak about these issues and also educate Kenyans on this type of things. And I think this kind of platforms, maybe we just need to keep. You know how we've constantly been talking about these things, just constantly saying it. And one thing I'm gonna say is the Kenyan government, as you said, is trying to prevent people from doing riots on the streets or protests. However, the one thing they're not realizing, just by their actions, hakuna mse ana radicalize wa Kenya kuwaliko. Hakuna mse ana kasirisha wa Kenya kuliko igava.
But they know we are forgetful, bro.
No, listen, I agree, Chax. But let me tell you, if they don't kill Albert Ojwang, because of our tweets, no one is on the road. So we're forgetful, yes. But the one thing you can't do is now continuously kill people because you think people are forgetful. Kuna point.
That's what they've been doing.
Let me tell you. Kuna time watu choka. Mwamseko barab. And I'm gonna tell you, that video, the person who's killed that young man, hajui chenye amedu kwa sababu kuna difference between kuambiwa mse aliuliwa na kuona mse akiuliwa. Kuna difference big
headshot.
Kuuliwa hivyo. Kuna difference between we kuambiwa mse alishoot, tunaambiwa Karau ameshoot mse, but tumeona akieka gun kwa kichwa mtu. Hiyo hasira nye wanaeka because now Kenyans are not just angry. Kenyans are sad. They're mad. You know, we don't know who's next. Because now let's be honest, Chaxy, Karau akishoot mse, hakujua mse nani. Hakujalo mse ametoka wapi. It was very indiscriminate, you know. That could easily have been you.
Bro,
could have been Mwass, could have been me, could have been anyone in this room. You know what I'm saying? So
wrong place, wrong time.
You know, I'm just saying we're at a point where now it's very clear to all of us there's no regard for life.
Bro, we are by ourselves, bro. We are by our own.
We really are.
Absolutely.
And I want Kenyans to now bundle up in that us against them mentality.
But you see, charisma, also for there to be, even as young people, the other thing that I'm really against, and I just don't see how people don't see it, is that Kenyans, again, especially, are very intolerant. In the sense that for us to change things politically, it has to be a political conversation as well. Now, come 2027, even not even election, campaigns have started already. now it feels like guys in government are not campaigning, although they are. It feels like the ones who are everywhere.
Yeah.
Now 2026 is here. By December, already you start seeing collisions form. Again, remember, what the government has is unlimited resources. The government is going, I can guarantee you, they're going to form some crazy collisions. And even guys who are now fighting for actual people now will forget because their people have been included in. Same thing with ODM before last year's protest.
Tuona tu boy mwenye mlikuwa mnaaminia amepewa position na akasema kwendeni.
Exactly. Before last year's protests, ODM was on the streets because of the cost of living. If you remember correctly.
Yeah.
The Johos, the Sifunas, all of them, nakumbuka sufuria nini, were on the streets.
Yeah.
Now, last year, when the protests began earlier on, all of them, Akina Babu, were with the people.
Yeah.
What happened? ODM got in office and then
Included in government, wakajitoa.
wakajisahau.
Lakini Raila ametuseti manze. Ule msee na yeye ni hatari. Yaani hatunanga hata. Msee yani ile tu ya ukweli. Honestly, hata kutupatia hata a fighting chance. Unajua hata opposition. But and I'm not saying to support him.
An opposition anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like we don't even have an opposition.
The opposition we have, they don't have people in office.
And that's what I'm saying. It's so hard to take it serious.
Yeah.
Me, it feels like a gimmick for me. Like I'm not, me personally, I can never support either Raila or Ruto, but I'm saying even give the people a fighting chance. Be the government. You know what you used to be taught in school? Government watchdog. As in tukwe tuna msee mwenye ako na power ya kusema zi ime happen. Hakuna manze. Like no one can speak for the people.
Inalishwa vizuri.
Dogi imelala. The sleeping dog is lying.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, if someone gets shot now or killed, whether by cops or not by cops, even that body, the guy who just got murdered in cold blood now, do you know who will collect that body? It's the police. Now, the person who is supposed to take care of you or come to a rescue if something happens to you, ndio anakushoot kwa kichwa at point. So, nana nafaa kukusaidia. Do you know how twisted that is?
To serve and protect.
The people who, says if I have a genuine problem, I'm supposed to go to my nearest police station because that's where I'm supposed to get help. Now, if those are the guys who will murder me in their cells.
In the cell. And cover it up.
And cover it up, bro. We are fucked, bro. We are so cool.
And say, lakini yenye watu yenye, mnasemanga, watu usemaga kama joke, lakini yenye mtu alipata DFI kwa gun. Ama, yani ase walidantini wajinga kama watu, mtu alijigonga kichwa kwa cell. Paka akakufa. And then you see the body of the person.
Injuries kwa mwili.
Sijui hawakufikiria hiyo point.
My question would be,
no one thought about the fact that this guy's body would have been examined and you see he has a soul and mouth, he's been strangled. Yani walidhani kila mtu ni mjinga kama wao.
Bro, yani, and also, for you to even publish a statement like that, because in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, Kenyans deserve to know, we can't hide this, and we believe that they'll believe this.
Can I add something onto that? So I know people, so Kanja is escaping a lot of criticism on this situation. But this statement was put out by the cops and backed, because, was it Kanja who put out that statement?
I'm not sure who put it out.
But I think he did back that statement. Either he put it out or he backed the statement. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But he was part of it. And I remember even in the Senate, they were like, the Inspector General put out this statement saying this. Bro, a whole IG did not fact-check anything. Aliambiwa tu story. Na yeye pia, IG mzima wa Kenya. Akaamua, mse alijipiga kichwa kwa ukuta.
Baka kadedi.
Guys, you think that person is fit to lead the...
Never, bro.
He's a puppet.
And it has to be a puppet. Any top positions, forget, those are puppets, bro. For it to get to the point where, such things happen, and they're so slow. Like, you get so angry because you're like, I'm an assistant on the 2 Central. Now, in a few minutes, I'm sure we'll come out with all the evidence that we need. So for it to be that slow, it definitely is a bigger plot to cover.
There's something, exactly. I believe so.
And with all the loopholes, that is what is juicy. Nicole na hii number, Nicole na hii.
Yeah.
They just don't want to investigate.
Because what is so hard with, I come into office, I'm the president, and I know for sure, there's the people in office and then there's the systems. And in 5 years, for a country as fat as Kenya, the systems you can fix, there's some that you may not be able to fix properly. Because none of these people are clean people. So there's also a lot of that on a lot of people. What is so hard in saying, listen, you're my new IG of police because you're loyal to me. That's how politics work. I don't care what you're going to say. It's not about competence, it's about loyalty. What I need you to do is basically just work for the people, protect the people. Simple. Perfect. Go to your cabinet secretaries. Say, please, uko in charge of roads. All I need to do is bare minimum, just fix the roads.
Lakini sasa unajua Chaxy hiyo ni ngumu kama mtu mwenye umepea has no knowledge of what he's doing.
I agree.
You see,
So,
and that's why I keep saying, Chaxy, you see, if I'm gonna give you a favor, if I want you to, so assuming I want someone to be the cabinet secretary for IT, if I have a bunch of people who I want to give, who I owe, I'll give someone who studied that IT, who knows about it. I can't just go and get a musician, I get a Roche, Roche nakumbuka ile dole ni jenga hivi, sasa wewe ndo cabinet secretary wa IT.
Ama health.
Unacheki hiyo ndo shida. Yaani hata design wanapeana hizi favor zao ni mse mwenye afai. Mse mwenye anafaa at best akuwe chief ama sub chief kwa sub location.
Wewe unasema nini? Unajua madhangu alikuwa chief. Hebu apologize.
Sorry.
Amesema sub chief.
Amesema sub chief. At best level yake ya qualification ni ya sub chief kwa sub location. Amefanywa CS wa health.
CS wa health sign nani bede?
We've been so desensitized from your story mpaka hata sijali
ya Ruto penye imenifikisha.
But let me ask, bro. So for guys in government, I mean, I have friends and people in different positions in government.
Yeah.
Okay, let me not say friends. Some of them, I have friends for sure. Some of them is just people I know. And sometimes suka hata saa zingine tuko you know, and we ask, and I'll ask genuine questions. I've not met even one of them who doesn't feel like the government is not working.
Na yako ndani.
Yeah. But you see,
and I understand when it's like, okay, if you work there and you agree to work there, that's how you make your money.
Yeah.
So maybe you may not even publicly criticize, but even privately, if you're not able to acknowledge some mistakes.
Yeah, that part is crazy.
Yeah, but because I think there's only like one person, the usual mwenye najua, our fan friend, who will be like, apa, there's a problem here, there's a problem. Him, and he's the only person who he'll acknowledge us and apa ni noma, apa ni noma. Where if something is correct, he'll tell you correct. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Everyone else, they're completely convinced the government is working, but Kenyans are fighting the government. I'm like, bro, do you know what it means for us if the government does its job? If the government wins?
That's the thing I don't get.
Do you know how bad I want Ruto to succeed as a president? Because if Ruto becomes the best president we've had, our lives will change.
Bro, economy improve,
tutaanza
kuendesha mabraba.
Bro,
hiyo ndo tunadai.
I want Sakaja to be the best governor Nairobi has, because Nairobi will change.
People don't think I want the creative sector to improve.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. We are not against anyone in government. All we're saying is we just want things to work.
Yeah.
Bro, all of us want it to work. Because can you imagine if things worked?
If healthcare was working, if I didn't have to pay constantly insurance kwa sababu nisipolipa hiyo insurance ndakufa kwa hospitali.
So ndo nasema, how can you say Kenyans are against the government? We want the government to work because we understand
want the
if the
economy
government
to be
works.
good. So when you guys tell us when we're rioting, we're sabotaging the economy. No, we're rioting because we want you to do better at the economy.
Yeah.
We want a better economy. By that time, nilienda shopping juzi. Na unajua mtu wa shuku supermarket juu. Unaona zikipita zikieko.
Hata uko checking.
Nilienda mtaani na receipt. I tell you in my life, receipt haijafika home. You utupia kwa supermarket.
Kwa hiyo paper bag.
Cross check.
Nilienda naangalia. Paka napita one by one nikitik. Kiangalia hiyo card. Naambia brother wangu fines alikuwa amekaa mtaa anamwambia hebu fanya hii plus. Fika bado ni ile. Nashindwa, tulifika hapa lini? You know, so those people, do they think I'm happy being in that situation? You know, I just want to be in a world where I can there's something someone was saying, even so there's a lot of shit happening in Kenya, but also Kenyans and even saving in this economy it's impossible.
Mimi nilisema mambo ya savings wakanichekelea. I was like, okay, mimi acha niishi maisha yangu.
Wewe una save?
Bro, what do I save? What am I left with to save?
Unalipa
Saizi
bills zako zote siku moja.
Mmenikumbusha niko unemployed. So saizi I'm like, shit. I actually am. So I have to work for every single month. What am I saving, bro?
Wacha ni washow. Mi kwanza yangu ni mbaya. Yani economy imekuwa mbaya design as a creative now, as a singer rather. Ajua manze, I keep telling people, the problem, people think being in this industry is so flashy and so cool. But I tell them, the problem is, sometimes I don't know when my next show or my next gig is.
Yeah.
So me, when I get money...
Even when you know when your next gig
is...
When will the money come?
Yeah.
90 days.
You might have,
Bro.
Our agency inakwambia, we'll pay you after 3 months. Oh! Na kuna rent unafaa ulipe za hizo 3 months. Unaanza kukatiana na landlady.
Na lazima upate content.
Unamfinyia macho.
Bro.
Kwa sababu usipo hivyo utalalanje. But yeah, so I tell guys, I get money and I pay my rent. Kwanza penye nilihama, nilikuwa nimelipa miezi zikapita. So I'm moving. She's like, you've paid for like 4 months after this. Namwambia utanirudishia haki. Na mbeg kwa sababu mimi nikidu hivyo, it was those ones for
safety too.
Sijui.
Yeah.
Sijui 3 months from now ndakuwa na nini kwa mfuko, but nataka tu nikuwe na mahali ya kudozi. Na alinirudishia lakini nilikuwa naogopa manze. Karibu ni
nyama kwa mdomo.
Nilikuwa nataka kuambia one of the tenants, when nitumie ni kutransferia hiyo mimi nimelipa.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like as you're saying, we're not trying to sabotage this country. If this country is working for us, we're in a better place, Yeah.
So this changes if we get actively involved.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, I think I was mentioning earlier that what I hate the most about Twitter is how intolerant people have become. And I get it. Like, times are hard.
Yeah.
Things like Albert are happening. People are getting shot. So, naturally, people will be intolerant.
Na pia tu president ni Ruto. Anakasirisha mtu daily.
True.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. The way this changes is that this has to be a political solution. We have to find political solutions for political problems. Which means actively getting involved in politics. Which means vying for positions next election.
And
going out to vote.
Propping the right leaders also.
Yeah. Propping making the right choices.
Yeah.
But if guys can be hired in hundreds and thousands to be goons, those are guys who will be paid kidogo money to go vote the same regime back. Now, those are the minds that we have to imagine we're going to go up against in the coming election.
Yeah.
So if we don't actively do it, we'll come here in 2027, we'll have another 5 years of complaining about the same thing. Yeah. So now, when even us as a podcast, also part of our responsibility is again to ask these questions, and the people and also hold some of these people to account. Because otherwise, that's why I'm like, guys have to get to the point where you have to tolerate so many things to actually make a change.
Do you know the one thing that for me, I think is something we need to work on ASAP is, so all of us are against Ruto, or whoever is against Ruto. I'm starting to speak for the people, everyone, but me personally. But so if that's my position, a conversation has to be had on what are the options. So where are we going?
Facts.
Because
people don't want to talk about it.
We can't say, I want this man out, but we don't have a solution. Yeah. So because we are not living a vacuum. If we leave him to run against himself, he's going to win.
Power.
Independent.
Unaget? Ataji-investigate. Ata-run peke yake, ata-win too. So we have to start having those conversations of, okay, so these are the options. Are we... here, what is this person providing for us? Who is he? What's what's his manifesto? All those things. So I
and also have to check their track records.
Yeah.
Bro, we have to have those conversations.
Lakini niwaulize swali juu ya goons. Hii kitu hiyo unisumbua. Mtu akikama nipatie thao, nimvotie. Siwezi chukua tu hiyo thao nikule na niende nivote mtu mwingine.
You can, but sasa...
Nashindwanga mbona wafikiria tu.
Uchukue pesa alafu ufanye vingine.
Kama lazima uchukue hiyo do. Si ati watakuwa kwa booth na wewe.
You don't have a gun to your head.
I'm always like, kwani wako so consumed ndani hiyo story, anaenda na roho yake yote, nilipewa thao, ndavoti. Mtu haujui. It normally shocks me so much.
I think also the other thing we have to accept is that we are not going to get immediate change. We're not going to get immediate change. We don't have angels in office, and most of them are going to come back anyway.
In fact, we have devils.
Exactly. So we have to make peace.
Devil take notes.
Yeah. It's like them guys are overworking.
Yeah. So there's things you have to accept, and we have to work.
It's gonna be a
towards
slow
that,
process.
It's going to be a slow. It let me say gradual, not slow.
Yeah.
I'm a
Gradual
steady.
process,
Yeah, but 2027, I can guarantee you, tutakuwa tu hapa bado. Just the same way we covered the last election. Tutakuwa tu hapa bado hivi.
Talking about the same
We'll be
issues.
talking about the same thing. I'm sure we'll have a list of people in office now, their track record versus when wamerudi.
Mi
when
kama
wamekuwa
KJ
replaced.
msipomwangusha mi sijui mnataka nini. Mi KJ mi hata nataka kujiregister as a voter huko. Yani nataka niko na mandate, yani hii ni mimi nimejiwekea, yani lazima niangushe huyo msee.
You know, at some point, KJ's team had reached out to have KJ here. So I remember just thinking to myself, I don't think I even told Mwass. And I was like, bro, there really is nothing to discuss anymore.
Yeah, na KJ.
Like with yeah.
Listen, there's people who you can have KJ tu ni. KJ alienda akasema watu wana. KJ tu ni punda. Like
Ushaikasirikia TV.
Manze, unajua alafu saa hizo umetoka kukulatia gas siku mzima. Mse anasema hizi protest ni doctored. So I'm like, wait. Was I not just outside?
So no, sasa at some point I was like, at that point sasa you stooped too low.
Yeah.
I'm like,
there's no
because I'm like, okay, think about it genuinely. If you're supposed to do our job here, because he's a member of parliament, and also part of us could be like, listen, we have genuine things to ask, and you're not going to bullshit. If you're not going to answer, then talk to.
Yeah.
If KJ came here now,
What exactly am I supposed
what
to
are you asking him? Because already
muulize tu vitu za ridiculous basi. Uko umekuja hapa kama former msanii.
Ama ilikuwa inaitwa nini? Kuna ile kitu kingine walikuwa wanaweka picha kubwa za
XYZ.
hizo.
Was he part of XYZ?
Kwa hiyo?
I don't think alikuwa part of XYZ.
So speaking of, So speaking of some like saying that like a politician's team reached out. There's this guy, I don't want to mention his name. So he's been trying to get me to convince the mic check guys to host.
I like how Tafari needs
to host him here. So he's like, here is the short bio of XYZ. Kindly give the way forward. I ignored. Then yesterday he called me. That's like 2 weeks. So he texted he texted a long message 2 weeks ago. Then I didn't respond. Then yesterday he sent me that guy's profile. On Saturday I didn't respond. Then yesterday he called me. I was like, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back. Then in the morning he texted, morning bro, bado janipea feedback. Kindly let me know.
Kwani haoni?
Then today he tried calling me. Then I'm like, I gave the guys info. Nangoja wanipea feedback. Then it's like, okay, what about to give me the official email? I make the request via it. I'm like, we are in a very serious state politically as a country. Do you think kuna mtu anataka kuona mwanasiasa kwa podcast at the moment? Then the guy's like, okay, I understand your worries. We shall communicate once the tension de-escalates. I'm like, bado how get point.
Hata haket. Yani hauelewi. Really, really about him.
Yani how you...
Ama pia yeye anasukuma huko. Amesema aje wacha.
Lakini like who wants to have a conversation with... Unajua mimi I want to see someone come out there, condemn everything that is happening. Ikwe. I see why we need to host such a person. Whoever you want us to host, I don't even know him. I have not seen like what he stands for. Unaelewa? Like we can't also hatuwezi kuwa hapa hivi like the video that's going around online where there's this mask seller who's been shot at point blank. I'm like, if such a video does not affect how you're feeling and what your views are for the country, how do you want me to have a conversation with you? Because unaniambiaje wewe ni Mkenya na kitu kama hiyo haikusumbui.
Haikuharibi tu siku.
Like
Chenye wewe unafikiria sana ninataka kukuja kwa
yani wewe ukiona sichukui simu unaona niko mahali na enjoy life ni fiti sana Kenya inanibamba nataka nikuhost wewe na mtu wako. Like read the fucking room, man.
You know, at some point last year, I remember really thinking through this. And I was like, okay, we just make the pod full entertainment.
No,
like completely. Like genuine convo that I had with myself. And then Kajambia, but that would be a lie. Because even outside the pod, like today, if Mwass called me, if I called Mwass, we would have talked about what happened today. Then also, because I genuinely care, it would be a lie to come here today and just talk about
and act like nothing has happened.
Like nothing had happened. So even when we did the Jimmy Wanjigi episode, I remember the first time we spoke, I was like, we wanted to come earlier on the platform to talk about devolution and something. It was something specific, but we were told you don't do political discussions. I remember sitting with myself, I'm like, so it feels like it's, because to me it felt almost like we don't care.
No.
I'm like, we will discuss political, we'll get engaged in politics because it affects everything we do.
And I think I think this podcast represents the people. And the people go through a lot of things. The people have fun. The people drink.
True.
Yeah.
The people also...
Like today, the people are in a bad political state, so we have to...
So we have to
Lazima
discuss
tuongee.
that.
Yeah.
It would be crazy if you guys dropped an episode and no one is caring about it. So me when I look at you guys as Mic Check and watch your show, I feel like it's a mouthpiece for the people. It's education for the people. It's entertainment for the people.
Yeah.
And all those things can exist together.
Yes.
Hata mi life yangu mi ukinipata Saturday tu vizuri. Nimelipua niko happy. Lakini sahi nimejam. Sahi nimejam na niko allowed to go through hizo emotions. The same with the podcast.
Na unaweza kwa tu uko na show saizi,
Can go
itafika
through that.
utatoka hapa, umejam tu, uende, ufanye tu husa na wengi perform, na ufurahishe tu watu. Because even amidst hizi chaos zote, someone needs
We're
to
still
sit down and get entertained.
And listen, I'm gonna tell you. So I like that this point has come because there's something I've always been feeling, and I'd like to hear what you guys think about it. So, like, as someone in the creative arts, we have our jobs that we're doing, So, for example, I've released a song, and this kind of thing happens, and that's still your job. Mpaka unajiuliza, sasa bado ni posting ngoma leo. Ama uko na post ya event ina happen kesho, unajiuliza, shit. Sasa ndaduaje about, but then you kachini unajiuliza, wow. Hii shit naweza kaa tone deaf, lakini sasa ni do. Event organizer ananitext na bro, tumekulipa hido yote wewe market event.
No, but bro,
I don't know, sometimes I normally
read the room.
Read the room, bro. Lakini atakwambia room iko kesho, tuko na gig kesho. Tuko na gig kesho, nigga.
No, I think we have to be honest with ourselves, because if you even you as charisma, umesema uko na many extensions of you. How you make money is by making music and performing. Before even the Albert Ojwang thing happened, in one day, socials yako, how many things do you post and talk about?
Man.
It's a wide range of things. So it's like saying we stop now recording Mic Check because the Albert situation has happened until things cool. No, we'll come here and cover Mic Check. Now, if you have a performance tomorrow, and which is something you do, I don't even tell you. It's nice when I see you get on stage and you acknowledge some of
we're
these
talking
things.
about it.
You know what I mean? Even that moment of silence during in the middle of the performance, because of Albert, this guy who just got shot dead, the people we've lost, those are things that it's like you have to carry this moment into your craft. Because Sasa, that's what Ulysses, it's like saying, okay, we have to stop recording Mic Check.
Yeah. And I normally think it's a bit unfair because the way people in office jobs sometimes got creators. And I'm not, so trust me, there's a lot of influencers, creators, musicians who are very tone deaf, who don't speak about this shit but want to be supported or support my shit. There's a lot of those. That's not what I'm talking about. I think Magunga said it one time, like, pia si tunatafuta unga. Na Magunga alikuwa kwa riots, mimi nilikuwa kwa protest, but anasema, pia at the end of the day, hizi jobs ina need kutoka kwetu. The same way, wacha ni washow, na ndo kitu nilikuwa nasema wase wako kwa ofisi. Difference yako na mimi ni wewe sasa you need kupost but utaenda job bado.
Fact.
So kuniambia mimi ni stop ni a bit unfair, get, because I can address all these issues, but I've always been.
That's why I'm like, sit with yourself and because you see you can't lie to yourself how you feel. Because Leo, I've been posting about what's going on the protests. But Gioni, I'm sure we'll have a clip from the Chimano episode. I'll repost it.
Yeah, because
so
what
within my
do?
socials, I'll post Mic Check. I'll post the protest. Because also
It can accommodate all convoys.
Utapigwa na read the room.
which is still fine. Like me mefika point yenye I'll do what I know I feel is right.
You know what's good.
Yeah, because also kasa hizi. Sawa, niko nimekasirika hivyo nini. I'm sure cinemas wase wataenda kuona movie. But Manishi they don't care about Albert. Maybe hata nimse ametoka protest genuinely. Ameenda meoga, ameenda movie date.
Hata kuna msee anamaliza anaenda night shift.
Because the reality of life is balance and all these things are happening at the same time. But we people in the creative space have to exist still. Because if you stop doing Mic Check, alafu then also you have no platform that will come and talk about these conversations as well.
We have no shows to chant Ruto must go.
Yeah. And genuinely, if you sit within yourself and you're like, okay, I don't want to do a gig now because of what's happening as well,
fine.
don't do it.
That's fine.
Yeah. Just as it's possible for me now to come record the pod and talk about Albert.
Exist in all the spaces.
Yeah. Then I still have to be a sibling to someone after. I still have to be
a brother,
a
mother, father.
Yeah. I still have to do a report here. Even in any performance ya last month ya client. Yeah, so the same thing umesema. So msana anakuambia usipost ya ameenda kazi the whole day. Yeah, mbona hajaenda kazi? Because hii ndo kazi yako. This is our office.
And his keep.
Yeah, anaenda Excel kufanya hivi.
Yeah.
Not I post.
But so na hiyo ni ofisi yake. Hii ni ofisi yangu. So pia mimi I have to show up to the office. But I care enough to be like, you know what? I'll do it as long and no one has to tell me. Yeah.
Hii nchi manze imetufanya philosophers.
Fuck it, bro.
Manze mimi wacha niwaambie, mimi nilijua hii shit ni ngori time nilikuwa maandamano na kina Kariwa huu.
Shout out to Kerry, man.
Kina Kariwa ako kwa maandamano na kina Muli. Unaangalia hivi nje. Unaona mademu unasema wow. Unajua ukijiangalia kwa kioo unaona wewe unakaa maandamano.
Wewe specifically wewe.
Unakaa maandamano.
Kama kuna tears.
Unakaa
Kerry, man. Unashinda manzo amefanya Kerry ametoka
na anakimbia kwanza kuna time fulani tulikuwa tunakimbia Lions. Alipigwa na tear gas fulani yani kama nostrils zilivuruta kama shisha. Alipata yote. Akakaa chini akaniambia, "Charisma, let them arrest."
She's such a doll.
Yani alikaa chini ile hii ni mwisho. It's crazy. But anyway, that's where we're at and that's the country we're fighting for.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is 269. Yeah, I think we'll just call it, man.
Thank you.
Anyway, man, episode 269, we are...
Mic check. It takes over 26. This is
This is the Brunch Club. Over 26.
Welcome back to
The mics are closed.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.